Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we're going to talk about a couple of very interesting bodybuilding topics. We are 9 weeks out of the Arnold Classic, and we're going to talk first about this guy right here, one of the potential possible winners of the show. Yeah, it seems like it's most likely going to be a two-man show. It's going to be between Derek and Samson, but there are some other guys who can surprise, and Andrew Jack is definitely one of those guys. And recently he really hasn't posted any physique updates, but I mean, we saw him at the Mr. Olympia recently. That was pretty recent, so we can kind of expect what sort of package he will bring. It's probably going to be something super drastically different. How much progress can he really make? What he can do, however, is improve conditioning. And, you know, with his genetics, like, he has been improving so far from show to show, even when he didn't have an off-season. But the last time when he had an off-season, what we saw at the Texas Pro last year was truly impressive. Like, the changes were visible, like really visible, which is not something you see that often with these guys at this level. Samson also has been improving show to show, but Andrew Jack, when he took that one off season, when he skipped the Arnold Classic, the next time we saw him on stage, he was like really improved. However, he failed to deliver conditioning for the Mr. Olympia. He had some issues during his prep. It wasn't exactly a smooth prep. He had that ab tear, which, as he said, messed him up mentally. He was basically almost out of the Mr. Olympia, but he still competed. He wasn't on, he was off, and his posing was all messed up. They messed up his music, so what he delivered to the Mr. Olympia stage was not the best Andrew Jack. So I'm sure he is driven right now to really show all the improvements he was able to make in the last year. And maybe, hopefully, he's going to improve a little bit more for the Arnold Classic. What he really needs to improve, muscularity-wise, truly, it's only hamstrings, right? Like, he can be more conditioned in the glutes and the lower back and in the hamstrings as well, but as far as size, like, sure, side thickness can be better, but how much bigger, how much heavier does this guy really needs to get? I mean, he's like over 300 pounds on stage, like 315, 10 pounds, something like that. So, like, what does he need to be? 330 on stage? I mean, it probably wouldn't hurt with his height. Samson is 300 pounds or 305, and Andrew is taller. So Andrew, if he was 330 pounds on stage with really good conditioning, that would probably still look good, right? Like, he wouldn't be too big. So those two things, maybe get a little bit thicker, especially from the side, and improve the hamstrings. And again, recently, he really hasn't been posting any physique updates, but he has been posting a lot of photos and videos of his training, and you can see that he is focused on his hamstrings. It's not like he's ignoring this issue. No, he has a separate hamstring day where he's focused on his hamstrings, glutes, basically his lower body, especially from behind, and I think we're gonna see a bit of a change. And again, he failed to deliver to the Mr. Olympia, so hopefully now he's driven and he wants to prove himself. So if Andrew Jack brings like a crazy level of conditioning with slight improvements, especially in that one area, his hamstrings, I think, I mean, I don't know if he can beat Samson and Derek, but I think it can be tough for those guys to go against him. I mean, Steve Weinberger has like really high expectations from Andrew, and he believes he's really, really good, that he can win the Mr. Olympia soon if he truly nails it for once. I don't think he ever really delivered to the Mr. Olympia stage. I don't think he was ever 100% in general, really. Like that one Arnold Classic where he placed third after Nick and Samson, like he was on for his standards, but he still wasn't as big as he is today. He lacked some fullness. He was in good condition, but he lacked some fullness. And at the Texas Pro this year, like, he was really good, improved, full, blasting full, but conditioning could have been a little bit better. So we still haven't really seen Andrew figuring it all out. He never really brought his A game to any of these shows, especially Mr. Olympia. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that for the Arnold Classic. I have a feeling that he's gonna do it. It seems like he's very driven. Again, he's posting a lot. It seems like he's motivated. So I think we might see the best Andrew Jack we ever saw so far at the Arnold Classic stage. And if you look at this comparison right here, I mean, like, this one pose, yeah, it's his best pose, but like still, he has the size, from the front at least. I would say from the back as well. From the side, it's a little bit different, but there are poses that he can definitely beat Samson at if he is on. Derek as well. So, I don't know, guys. I think anything is possible. We'll see. We'll find out in 9 weeks from now. Tell me what do you guys think down below in the comment section. Alright, the next topic, the next guy we're going to talk about is Urs Kalecinski, who, as you guys know, is not doing the Arnold Classic this year. For the first time in a while, he's skipping it for some reason. We were all confused. Why is he doing that? Is he going to do the Pittsburgh Pro, the FIBO, or something else? Dubai, maybe? No. Actually, we got the answer. Let me show it to you.
Why are you not playing Arnold 2025?
Because I think the Olympia next year is wide open and I want to focus 100% on winning this title. So no Arnolds for me this year, but definitely better package at the Olympia stage. So.
Alright, so the reason why Urs Kalecinski is not playing the Arnold Classic is the fact that he just wants to improve for the Mr. Olympia. As he says, and he's right, it's wide open right now, and this year, by him placing in that third spot without Chris Bumstead, that puts him in number 2 in the world. Officially, he is the second best classic physique bodybuilder in the world, and he also did improve for this Mr. Olympia compared to last year, and he was much better than he was at the Arnold Classic. I don't know what happened, but he was definitely bigger, better, the back looked improved and his arms were bigger. I mean, is his structure good enough to actually win the Mr. Olympia? I mean, the guy placed third. Without Chris Bumstead, he would have placed second, guys. You can say whatever you want, but he's at the very, very top. So it's very possible that he can win the Mr. Olympia. Now, if he is on the way he was this year and Mike Sommerfeld is also on, I don't see Urs beating him. If Wesley is really on, I don't see Urs beating Wesley. If Ramon is really on, I still can't see Urs beating all of these guys. So if he truly wants to make sure that he's going to win the Mr. Olympia, what he needs to do is actually improve even more. Is that possible? I don't know. I mean, he did reach his weight capping classic, but he was better this year than Mr. Olympia compared to last year. So he was already at the weight cap last year, and for some reason, he actually did look better. I don't know if he can actually gain more muscle, but maybe if he works on details, if he grows his arms and chest a little bit more, his back also, maybe his legs stay the same size, and he adds more details, not necessarily overall mass, but more details, more maturity. I don't know, man. I mean, it's not quantifiable, but I think it's possible he can actually improve. If he lets his body rest a bit, doesn't compete the entire year, and actually comes into the Mr. Olympia fresh, better a little bit, with maybe better conditioning, more details, anything is possible. He's second in the world, officially right now. Yeah, Ramon was off, yeah, Wesley was off, and Mike was on, truly on. We don't know what's going to be the case next year. We don't know if Mike is going to be on. We don't know if Wesley or Ramon are going to be able to really peak well. So, if he is really focused on that one show, he gives all his gut to that one show, he improves slightly, yeah, for sure he can win the Mr. Olympia. That's his goal. That's what he's not doing the Arnold Classic. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it is the right call. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. Alright, and while I was making this video, in the meantime, Samson Dauda posted a physique update at 9 weeks out of the Arnold Classic. And I don't want to say forget all about Andrew Jack, whatever I said. I don't want to say that, but looking at this, I'm thinking it's gonna be extremely difficult for anybody to defeat Samson in the Arnold Classic. Man, he looks like a proper freak. Now, in my video where I compared Samson to all the Mr. Olympias after the Phil Heath era, I think Samson is the best Mr. Olympia out of all of them. And I think he is the 5th best bodybuilder in the history of bodybuilding. So, as long as Samson brings it, as long as he is not entirely off, man, I don't know. It's really difficult to imagine Andrew Jack or even Derek beating him. I mean, yeah, sure, it's possible. Derek did beat him 2 years ago, and yeah, that wasn't the best Samson, but he wasn't like 50% better this year. He was like 15% better. So if Derek improves and comes in crazy condition, and let's say Samson is 10% off with conditioning, yeah, sure, Derek can probably beat him, but I don't know, man. I don't think Samson is going to be off, because his conditioning in the off season is very, very good. And the size is just so freaky. And again, like I said before, Samson is known to make progress show to show, not year to year, but show to show, because he competes non-stop. So no matter how crazy it sounds, I think it's very possible that we'll see an even better, bigger, more impressive version of Samson at the Arnold Classic. Now that he figured out his formula to actually nail the conditioning, it seems like that. I mean, his wife is coaching him, so I don't know if they were lucky for the Mr. Olympia and they nailed the conditioning for that one day and they will never be able to repeat that again, or if they actually figured out the formula and they're gonna just repeat that and bring him in conditioned once again. We'll see. I feel like it's very possible that he will nail the conditioning from now on for every show, as long as he competes. And like with the slight improvements, that I can still see his physique changing. I can still see maybe adding more roundness and like peak to the biceps. Maybe I can see bigger lats, thicker lats, and maybe even bigger legs. And maybe more conditioning, like more maturity and details in the not really hamstrings, but glutes. Like I can still see this physique improving, even though he's like, I think he's 37 right now. I mean, he can still compete and look really good for another 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 years, or who knows, maybe he's going to be the new Dexter Jackson, and he's going to compete until he's 50, who knows, but, and actually look good until he's 50. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, as of right now, he's definitely the most dominant, the most freaky looking bodybuilder. Again, the best Mr. Olympia since the Phil Heath era. In my opinion, 5th best Mr. Olympia or bodybuilder of all time, probably. I mean, 305 on stage winning the Mr. Olympia. You can't ignore that, guys. You can't tell me that he's not a super freak. If you imagine his Arnold Classic looks or previous Mr. Olympia looks, yeah, nothing special, but with good conditioning. And imagine if he brings even better conditioning. That's also possible. He can be 10% more conditioned than a Mr. Olympia. Maybe that's going to be the case. If that happens, man, it's lights out. It's lights out. Nobody comes even close. So as of right now, at 9 weeks out, Samson looks absolutely nuts, and he is for sure the heavy favorite. Of course, he's the Mr. Olympia doing the Arnold Classic. He's definitely the heavy favorite to win the Arnold Classic, and whatever you guys think, tell me down below, but man, this looks freaky right here. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.